The time has come when we can independently manage our past, present and future. This book is dedicated to one of the most ancient mysteries, the mystery of reincarnation of the soul. The history of past lives and reincarnation. You will also receive knowledge that until recently was available only to a few initiates. About what the Akashic Records are and how to interact with them. This concept, which for a long time was surrounded by a mystical halo, is now acquiring quite concrete and realistic outlines. It turns out that we all deal with the Akashic Records on a daily basis. And they affect us more than you might think. Today, Kryon reveals age-old secrets to you and me. Because the time has come to remove the veil of ignorance from them. And it's time for us to begin to manage those processes of our lives that seemed beyond our will. The time has come to become freer, throw off the burden of karmic predestination, eliminate unwanted influences coming from the past and strengthen what can benefit us. Akashic Records. The mind and memory of God. The term, Akashic Chronicles, began to be used in philosophical and esoteric literature not so long ago, in the 19th century. But the word, Akasha, itself is very ancient. It goes back to the Sumerian traditions and means some kind of primary substance from which the entire universe, the whole world, everything arose. Visible and invisible, including all souls, that is, you and me. Akasha is what was before there was nothing. In some traditions, this substance is called ether, or energy in its original state. When it was still motionless and did not create any forms. Yes. The Akashic Records are records, not only of the past, but also of the future. But only these are not frozen records. They change every moment, and we can influence these changes, thus changing both the past and the future. Most importantly, we can rethink our past, change our attitude towards it. Learn the necessary lessons, and thereby change our present and future. After all, from the point of view of higher intelligence, the main thing is not what happened to us, but how we reacted to it. Therefore, in the Akashic Records, it is not so much the events themselves that are recorded as the energies of our thoughts and feelings, our reactions and our intentions associated with them. Yes. Not only our every step, but every thought remains in the memory of the universe forever. You don't have to be afraid of this. No one collects a dossier on us in order to subsequently pass a sentence and impose a punishment. The universe lovingly preserves our stories. And he does it for our own benefit, so that we can better understand our life lessons, learn to correct past mistakes and, thanks to this, grow and develop spiritually. Fulfill our destiny in the best possible way both in earthly incarnations and in the world of the spirit. If the past is holding us back from moving forward, then it must be changed. Each of us has access to the mind of God, because each of us is a part of God. The Akashic Records are open to everyone today. They cease to be the property of the initiates. Because we need to connect with them today more than ever. What is it connected with? With the fact that the influence of our past is increasing. You may have noticed that in the new energies old problems are exacerbated. When more and more divine energies come to Earth, and this is exactly what is happening now, and it happens by the will of humanity. Then everything old, painful, dark becomes out of place in this new reality. It doesn't let us move on. And against the background of new light energies, it becomes very noticeable. It can no longer hide in the darkness. merging with it and being invisible against a dark background, as it was before. It reveals itself willy-nilly in our ordinary lives. This can manifest itself as an exacerbation of long-standing illnesses or the appearance of such problems that may seem new, but in fact are the result of past mistakes and past pain. The fact is that new energies began to come to Earth quite recently, during the lifetime of the current generation. What does it mean? That all previous incarnations on Earth, and most of us have very, very many of them, passed under the old energies. Yes, we lived in darkness. And this means that each of us has accumulated a huge experience of pain and suffering. And all this is recorded in our individual and collective Akashic records. And of course, we can't move on with that. This must be changed. Kryon tells us this. He gives the most complete information about what the path of the soul is, about the meaning of our reincarnations on Earth, and about how to work with the Akashic records. This is new information and it reflects our new capabilities. Right now we can change what has remained unchanged for centuries, what has limited and suppressed us. Knowing the past, we get the key to unraveling the many mysteries of life. By changing the past, we change the present and the future, our own and all of humanity. Kryon informs us, but does not dictate how we should act. Each of us is a person of free will. Kryon reminds us that we are all divine and come from a common divine family. Kryon tells you how to enter the path of light, love, happiness. But we must walk this path ourselves. Meeting yourself and entering the path that leads to better opportunities is the main thing that can happen to you in the process of working on this book. But to what extent you take advantage of these opportunities is up to you. Take from the book what your heart responds to. Trust yourself. Remember that you have God inside you. May divine love accompany you on your journey. To be continued. Subscribe to the channel.